Hey, I'm Danielle and I'm sitting here today because I had this epiphany pretty recently that I just can't keep to myself. And so little background is that for the last couple years I've been working in a virtual setting, so working from home and so everything I do is really self-directed and I'm in my own little space here. And about 2 months ago, I had this just thing that hit me like a lightning bolt. And I just said, oh my gosh, I've always been goal oriented and, sometimes I meet these goals, sometimes I don't. But all of a sudden I just realized my dream life is outside of my comfort zone. My dream life is outside my comfort zone. And I just realized that in so many different ways, I was making myself really comfortable. And that wasn't really challenging me to grow. And that's the key word, is challenge, that I felt like there were so many more ways that I could be challenging myself. And while it seemed a little bit, unnerving, that's what's really going to help me to grow and progress and everything. And I thought that this was just like a big moment to realize this. And I guess I've got this funny habit of having the same epiphanies over and over again, because I wrote myself a letter. This is just the kind of stuff I do. I wrote myself a letter in December, and I just got it. It's July now, so like 7 months. And I, got it here, great stuff, little words of encouragement, yada, yada, yada. And the second to last line says, and your best life is right outside your comfort zone. I literally got this the other day and was like, wait a second, I realized this before 2 months ago. So that's hilarious. But, this isn't the first time I've noticed this. I journal a lot, and I'll go back through my journals and I'll realize the same thing like every 4 months. And I don't have the best memory in the world, but I also don't have the worst memory. And if this says anything, it's like a moment to say, oh my goodness, if there are things that I'm realizing, obviously I need to be putting them into action more than I already am, so that I'm not having the same issues and realizing them again later. So that kind of leads me to my next point here, which is that when I think about my life 10 years from now, that's one of those things that people will say, okay, what's your 10-year vision or even a 5-year vision? I'm like, I don't know. And most people honestly are like, I don't know. I can't imagine myself 10 years from now, let alone 5 years from now. But when I think about just generally 10 years from now, do I want to be having the same epiphanies, or do I want to be still living in my comfort zone? If I continue to live in my comfort zone, and I'm not here like eating potato chips on the couch every day, but still, there's a whole new level to this. And obviously if I realized it more than once within a span of a few months, there is a whole new level here. There is more possibility to go outside my comfort zone and challenge myself. And so if I think about where I'm at right now in terms of challenging myself, getting outside my comfort zone, and if I continue to live at this level, or even if we think about the fact that we're either growing or dying, so it's not like we can even stay constant because things are always changing. If I think about, if things are going to either digress or progress, it's actually kind of stressful to think about what life would be like if I continue to have the same epiphany, continue to just limit myself and live in my comfort zone and just let time pass. That freaks me out a little bit, and I don't want to do that. So the reason that I'm sitting in front of you guys right now and sharing this is because I'm ready to take on a challenge here. I'm ready to do some experimentation and see what it really takes to challenge myself and to, treat life like an experiment. I think that's so important, because it's like, if we always think, oh, I've got to continue getting better on this linear scale, that's just not how life works. Life isn't predictable in that way, and I have to remind myself about that all the time. And I actually just changed my phone background to a quote. I'm so cheesy and I love it. But I found this quote that I'd taken a screenshot of and I didn't even remember, because I guess that's what I do. And it's, allow yourself to transform as many times as you need to be fully happy and free. And I love that, because it's like, I don't have to just say, oh, I should be more disciplined, but there's all these benefits to not being a disciplined person because I have more freedom, it's more relaxed. So one day I'll be more disciplined and then I'll never go back. It's kind of like this constant experimentation, this constant evolving. And so I'm ready for that process. And while I'm sure that's been happening at all kinds of different levels, to totally be focused on getting outside my comfort zone and challenging myself, that's something I really want to do. And I would love if you guys would come along with me and join me in this effort. Because it's really important to me. So that's why I'm sitting here today, and that's why I'm really excited to share the process. All right, I had to take a quick break there because it is summer in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's toasty, and I had the AC off so you could hear me. So I had to put some cool air on my face for a quick second. But anyways, to wrap things up here, what I want to say is I'm going to be doing different experiments. I'm going to be sharing insights, any sort of like resources, books, or people or articles or inspiring stories that I'm using along the way. You know, I want to make this process really transparent and fun and upbeat, and, you know, whether I'm taking on, you know, small actionable stuff like waking up at 5 a.m. or quitting coffee or something, or, you know, bigger like gutsy creative endeavors or something. You know, if you want to think big and do cool things, even if they're a little scary, then please join me in this process. Please join me in this journey, and I'm so excited to see what happens. Like I said, you know, sometimes it's so easy for me personally, and I know I'm not the only one in this, to forget or like to not notice progress, like to think that the way that we are is the way that we've always been. I think that's a psychology concept, but I haven't really looked into that since AP Psych in high school, which was a while ago. But it's so true. The way that we think of ourselves, we think that we've always been this way in you know, in some instances. So I think recording this whole process too is going to be really cool to see, to actually like witness that growth. So please join me in this. If you have ideas of what I should take on, feel free to comment. And I can't wait. So thanks so much for listening, and it's been great talking to you. And I guess I'm gonna have to say goodbye now for a short while. All right, bye.